What should be in your bug out / camping bag? Hey, thanks for swinging by Two Camping Gurus. Today we're going to talk about what should be in your bug out bag. And honestly, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer here. It all really depends on your particular situation. Well, stick around to the end. So we'll talk about a free pre-trip checklist you can get to make sure you're ready to hit the camping trails and or road with your camper. And of course, take a second to hit that subscribe button. All right, let's get to it. So a lot of people post videos on bug out bags, myself included, and some people are really into it more than others. I kind of do it part-time. You know, I have my bag that if I want to take off with it, I could. But every time I go camping, the bag is with me. So some people are really strict about it. And again, there's no right or wrong answer here. Really strict that this bag is designed for you to survive in a worst case situation for 24, 72, 36 hours, you know, depending on how they have their bag set up and what they intend on it being used for in a regular everyday situation or an emergency situation. So there's that side of it. And then there's people that are just, you know, putting together the bag for the first time and are learning and kind of finding their way. And then there's ones that put it together, such as myself, that is kind of can be used for two things. I want the bag to be able to grab it and go and live out of that bag and survive. And that's kind of one way I have it set up. But also, I don't want the bag just to sit in the corner somewhere. So we do a lot of camping. That bag goes with me. And a lot of the tools that are in it are things that we use on a regular basis when we're out camping. So when it comes to your particular bag, I would just recommend that you think about what you plan on doing with it and what you really want to intend to use it for, and then do some research. There is really no right or wrong answer here, at least in my opinion. But there are some basics that you want to have. And one of those is definitely a first aid kit of some sort. Whether it's a big first aid kit, a little first aid kit, whatever it might be, you want a first aid kit. And there is one I recommend. I'll put a link in the description for that particular first aid kit. Because it's a 2-in-1 first aid kit and it has a bigger pack that can stay stationary in your car or your bag or whatever, but then there's a smaller one if you're out biking or hiking and things like that you can always have with you. So that's one thing. You want at least one kind of a knife of some sort for doing, you know, cutting, whittling, to get small stuff to start a fire, which leads me right into the next thing is you want a couple ways, minimal, to start a fire. Matches are great. Have them waterproofed if you can, and you can easily do that with some wax. But you want to be able to start a fire. So flint and steel, Vaseline covered cotton balls, and I also make some fire starters. I'll even put a link at the end of this video to the little fire starters I make out of sawdust and wax as well. So those are some things. You definitely want a way to start fire. And another must-have, in my opinion, is a way to get fresh drinking water. Whether that's through iodine tablets like I have, or some sort of a tin of something that you can boil the water in, which I also have, which is the base of my canteen. If I pull the canteen out, there is an aluminum cup there that I can boil water to get fresh drinking water. So these are some key things. First aid kit, a way to cut things, a way to start fire, and a way to get fresh water. Outside of that, it really opens up big time into whatever it might work for you. You could go with a lot of tools, such as I have for building and constructing, or you could go with a lot of food, which is fine too. The issue I have with food items in a bug out bag for our use is it takes up a lot of space, and we're usually in a place where I have food with us, whether it's in a camper or something like that. So I would rather have more tools, especially if I was going to take that bag and take off in an emergency situation. And I'm talking worst case, which I really truly believe will never happen. If it does, well, I'll stand corrected. But I truly believe it won't happen. But if it did, and I had to take that pack and run into the woods with me, my family, or whoever I was with, I want the things in there that I could survive with. And for me, that is more tool related, so I can continue to gather food, build shelter, or start fires, and have a small first aid kit. If you go food heavy, then that's going to run out. And then what do? You don't have as many tools as, in my opinion, as you might need to gather more food. So again, that's fine, especially if you're just doing like a 72-hour bug out bag where you may have a power outage in your house and you have to grab a bag and go to someone's house and or somewhere like a hotel, whatever. Then that's a great way or a great situation to have a food-heavy bag, because you can then take that with you and you've got plenty of food that you can eat for the next 2 or 3 days until there's power restored or water restored or whatever it might be. Again, there is no right or wrong answer here. It's really what works for you. Those are just some things that I would keep in mind when you're putting together your bug out bag. And as I said before, first aid kit, a way to cut something, a way to get fresh drinking water, and several ways to start a fire. And I'll put a link in the description for the knife that I also did a review on. Maybe I'll put a link for that video as well. I'll put a link in there for the first aid kit, and also anything else I can think of that might be useful to you. Anyway, thanks for sticking around this long. I hope you liked this video and found it a little entertaining, if not hopefully helpful, and gave you some ideas that you can use if you're going to put together a bug out bag for yourself. Please take that time to subscribe, share this video, comment, hit like, and hit that bell icon so you can continue to be notified when I send out new videos. As always, have a great day, and of course, happy camping.